I wish I could have told you that I bought this with intentions on playing this just so I could have content for the channel. But no, I bought this when it came out for my own enjoyment. No gun pointed at my head, no peer pressure. All for me, baby. Collab of the century. Game of the year. The rest of those Game of the Year winners.
Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3.
Fake. Easily overpowers any other crossover that stands before it. Marvel vs. Capcom? Shut up. Crash and Spyro? Cringe. Disney and Final Fantasy? Ladies and gentlemen, it has been here. It has existed for much longer than you initially thought. The game that answers that age-old question, which Nickelodeon character could slam their balls the hardest? I don't know. What else could I say to persuade you to get this game? I perused through the gaming section of a Target one day, and I happened to hop across over into the Nintendo section. Yes, Wii games were still being sold on Target at that point. I don't need a walker. Thank you, my grandchildren. I searched around to see what would potentially grab my eye, in hopes of finding the coolest game to add onto my already cool personality. Guess I still needed therapy at that point, because this is what I decided on. And now here we are, years later, suffering together. Like a good family should. I barely remember my experience with this game growing up, and yet the only thing I do remember was that it didn't offer much to play with, and I didn't play it for very long. If this face didn't sell it to me back then, I guess this was never meant for me. I mean, just look at it. Look at this artwork. Real life people. Actual baseball professionals. Frozen in time. Right next to an airbender, an alien, an upright postured dog, and some kid wearing his underwear over his pants with a garbage bin for a head. They should be telling their wives how much they fucking love them every day. Every damn day. Actually, I don't know what's wilder to me. The fact that the MLB seal of approval is stuck right next to Stimpy's doofy ass face? Or that 2K made this. My logical reasoning has led me to believe that the reason for Nickelodeon's strange genre choice here was to entice kids into doing more outdoor activities. Nick has always been known to advise kids on being socially active, to keep energetically moving throughout the day and not make them sore from sitting in one spot watching the programming all day. Some of you might recall their Worldwide Day of Play broadcast, which is when the channel goes radio silent for 3 hours straight, suggesting that you and your friends should go out and play. For me, this meant I had to change the channel until Nickelodeon came back on in 3 hours, but the thought of it was nice on their part, and I'm pretty sure this is their other way of attempting to get that same message across to kids. It's just funny to me that their Get Out message was sent in the form of merchandise that strictly gets used indoors. Good call, Nick. Before I even get into this, they've already done f***ed up. Wii titles always have a startup screen before entering into the actual game. Usually they look something like this. Simple, engaging, clean. Then there's this. Why is there so much negative space? They didn't bother to stretch out the title fully across the screen. For a console that is supposedly elder-friendly, we're already starting off by having an eye test for Grandpa. This is gonna suck, I could feel it. And yeah, I wouldn't exactly say this got the best pampering treatment. Already off the bat, this game looks like it's actively melting as the disc gets hotter. I know this is a Wii game and high definition isn't fully guaranteed, but Jesus guys, this makes the PS2 look like a damn Michelangelo piece.
Next up, melting.
Excessive amounts of choppy frames, graphics are pixelated as all hell, the humans are constructed out of melted cheddar blocks, and some of these Nicktoon characters... Every MLB player looks just as excited to be getting their mugshot as I am, and every Nicktoons player looks like they've just sniffed a whole pixie stick pack through their nose through a straw. Can't wait to play 5 hours of this mess. If you couldn't gather from this small-ass fucking title, Nicktoons MLB takes 6 legitimate fields, over 300 members of the 2011 MLB roster, and tosses them amongst the cartoon people and world within the Nickelodeon universe, forcing them to compete and cooperate together in our great all-American roided-out sport of baseball. Just cause, why not? I mean, I wasn't expecting anything drastic to a sport that has lived beyond the Great Depression, but 2K did go out of their way to add a little something something into our great American sport to keep you coming for more. Hopefully. And no, it isn't tobacco. 2K tried to keep it cool by taking a page out of Nintendo's playbook and decided to add power boost abilities into their gameplay. Do you remember Super Mario Baseball? Do you remember the special power pitches and power shots that each character came with that made each team member stand out from the rest, allowing experimentation for which roster would be too OP for the game to handle? Well, 2K did that too. Except they don't have Miyamoto's vision. So it's ass. No specialties, no fireballs, and it's not unique to every character. It's an adrenaline hit, and boosts the hell out of your stats. You turn into Barry Bond, essentially. Or Ronaldo. He plays baseball, right? Boost is earned by targeting your shaky-ass throw within the highlighted area. Get them to strike and gain more ammo. Filling a block of boost earns you the opportunity for easier balling by giving you homers, move faster on the field, and jump at ridiculous heights. It feels great to execute perfectly, but boy is it so f***ing easy to pull off. I could scratch my ass with the remote and somehow get a grand slam as if I just ordered that shit from Denny's. Just spam the hell out of the boost shots, that's all you need to do. I win games flawlessly, like 20-0 flawlessly. I turned up the difficulty too. I still broke this in half.
Who do you think you are? I am!
I know Nintendo games shouldn't be my template for everything, but they know how to turn a get-together into a party. For me, it's recycled content from a better game without pulling from the best portions of it all. It's scrappily recycled. All the way down to the damn box. Animated characters in a video game, or show for that matter, should be animated and have additional personality to them. And no, trail effects don't count. Yeah, Sandy shows nuts. How about the ball actually being a nut? Making it harder to catch by bouncing around at bizarre angles because of its weird structure? If it couldn't have been an individual personality ability, then at least make it a skin for the ball. The only thing I do give it credit for doing is when the ball hits the stadium in different ways. It hits different. Literally, each hit is different. You could shake up the stadium, make signs fall down, flip a door, kill the audience, cause fireworks to shoot out at 144p, break the projector screens. Each stadium has their own unique spots to aim for, along with a special animation to show what you did. It is oh so satisfying, especially when I cause financial damage and I don't get any of the repercussions. Broken screens stay that way for the rest of the match too. The place of impact is imprinted onto that board, which is actually kind of sick. Oh, that was something positive. I have to counter that with something. Motion controls. The controls suck! Well, I shouldn't say that, but the controls are incredibly simplistic, enough to make you brain dead, especially if you play this by yourself, which you should absolutely never do. Sorry, I'm just giving myself footnotes real quick. There aren't many thoughts that you can give to the gameplay when all you have to do is swing for everything. I do mean everything. Swing the throw, swing the bat, swing the run, swing the catch, swing the jump, swing the pee, swing the home, swing the evade taxes, swing the dive. Also, bunting doesn't work. The game says to hold it sideways. I hold it sideways, and it thinks I'm swinging. I'm gonna hurt someone. And for as much as I love beating this game down with suggestions and saying how mid my experience has been so far, I hate to admit it, I did get some enjoyment out of this. This is not pure trash. There are plenty more shovelware games that have given less interest than this. MLB actually has effort in their craft. The detail of impact from power shots are an awesome touch. Controls are way too easy for me, but for a kid it would actually be beneficial. Before jumping into a match, there is a solid selection of Nicktoon characters that you not only play as, but get referenced outside of the roster as well. Pick people that range from the well-known OG boys to the new boys in town. New from the year 2011, I love that you don't get your usual suspects that you would normally expect to see from a Nickelodeon game. You could pick Ultra Lord, you could choose the Flying Dutchman. Toph is here as well. She's blind. How the f does she know where the ball is? Oh my god, Powdered Toast Man too? I love this absurdity of choices I could pick from. I start off the inning as Yankees legend Derek Jeter, or the skinwalker that I guess represents Jeter, and then follow him up with a giant-ass yak who now plays for New York for budgeting purposes. Oh, okay. I can't believe you people would prefer the show over this. Not to mention, seeing Nicktoons absolutely bodying people is the best thing you could have ever brought to this sporting event. When my brother played this, he was getting into it. He almost hit the TV a couple times from the hype the game builds up. Having a majority of the original voice cast to reprise their roles combines the intensity and silliness of the game for an overall good time. I can't see my forehead! Baseball cards for Nick characters are your rewarded collectibles for doing baseball things, which is a clever incentive to have, especially if you're a kid who loves collecting cards, speaking directly to your inner kid self. or the spirit of a 30-year-old in a Target parking lot.
A quick note before we continue.
For each card that you earn, you can actually earn 3 variations of it. Bronze for doing the required challenge once, silver for twice, and finishing the card with a solid gold rim for completing the challenge thrice.
So what's wrong with that?
Silver cards are busted. Instead, the back is still bronze and the front of it is non-existent. The QA department. They're just as important. My favorite part about this game isn't even in-game. It's what came inside the case. Purchasing a freshly sealed copy of Nicktoons MLB will most likely contain your very own pack of official baseball cards starring every real and cartoon MVP from this game. Topps made a special edition set of baseball cards specifically for this game, and it's f***ing awesome. Dedicated to all those kids who took a chance on this in the first place. And these are not normal player statistic cards. One MLB player has their stats compared with a made-up cartoon character stats in their respective position. Nothing is better than asking your major baseball fan friend the question of who is a better right fielder. Jose Bautista from the Toronto Blue Jays or Patrick Starr? I know the answer to this question. Might explain why I don't get invited to parties often. That, or I'm cursed with knowledge of knowing that Perch Perkins is married and has occasional indigestion. Why is this in a baseball manual? Nothing breaks my heart more than seeing a crappy game failing and yet has more effort than some AAA games now. A pro always gets countered with a con, Nick including additional teams with their own unique stat boost to help out the player? Yay! Commentators commenting on every f***ing ant you accidentally stand on?
Ooh, you suck.
Commentators being Nickelodeon favorites Perch Perkins and Gurr? Good call. Insightful commentary?
I'm naked!
How about that?
Not here. Character intros? Yup. Good visual effects? Nope. For the game modes that are offered in this game, they are all samey. Tournament. Baseball, but too much dedication. Showdown. Segregating the toons from humans for an MLB versus Nickelodeon matchup. Distance Derby. The most unique game mode from the bunch. Still involves swinging though. You know what? Screw this. I don't want motion controls anymore. Is there any other version of this game that exists? Oh boy. I was hoping the answer was no. I don't want to spend more money than I should for this, so let me just look at other people's footage to compare notes. Let's start things off with the Xbox 360 version. Well, crap. What do you know? Looks a million times better in terms of visuals. Seems to have the same kind of controls as Wii, but with less swing music. Do you enjoy looking at that? Too bad, back to the clay people. DS port looks as good as I suspected a DS game would look. Voice quality sounding pretty good for a DS game actually. And finally, the 3DS version, which is the updated patch version of this game, most likely meaning that this was the last place it got ported to. Nicktoons MLB 3D looks to be the I wouldn't say improved DS version, but plays the exact same while offering something new. Ruptured eardrums.
Prepare to be blown back on your tail fins. Whoa!
Wait, my bad. This is Nicktoons MLB 2.0. Jimmy Neutron is finally in the building. He's a jelly bean with the body of a baby. A monkey is here too. Where the hell are you from? Hero Mighty Paw from Monkey Quest, an online role-playing game from Nick.com. How relevant! Along with an extra 2 fields,
Count 'em, 2!
Chase Field, and Poo Poo Forest. I didn't play these other versions, but I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I think I bought the worst possible version. You know what? Probably not. It appears each version has their own pro-con battle that it can't seem to steer away from. With that said and done, there is something to enjoy about Nicktoons MLB, but mainly, it's baby's first baseball game. Although this is a unique crossover, this is still your typical standard baseball game that can have eye-catching moments to appear interesting, and it had so many opportunities to make a much bigger impact for kids to remember. I would have loved additional wackiness to this game. Add special character items for each guy to sabotage opposing teams, like Danny Phantom having ghosts to mess with the outfielders. Add field events like Bikini Bottom Bubbles taking the baseball away at stupidly high heights to throw off your opponent's game. Add some sort of Discord to the field. No, not that Discord. Although voice chat in this game would be pretty wild to add. Oh my god, dude. The wild thornberries. Why the hell are they not in this? Have you not seen my man Donnie throw absolute bullets at people? Have you not? It makes effort to be engaging, but ultimately, it isn't engaging enough to justify a purchase. Oh, who am I kidding? Your ass wasn't gonna be buying this anyway. Just look at it. Zim is fine here, and now he is different on the book. Dear Lord Almighty, can we communicate with one another to keep continuity?